We love wings and slicks racing on the Gold Coast, just like it used to be with the Indy cars. Cam's Jayco Formula 4. Look at the angle from Randall. He knows where he wants to drive it. Oh, it's a pretty good start from Lloyd. I'm not sure if Leeds will hang on to second. Great start from Jordan Lloyd. Did exactly what he needed to do. Clear one car and focus on the leader. We go down towards turn 2, or turn 1 I should say, over the curbs. We'll see Gretsch take the shortcut, but Randall has done enough to keep the lead, but importantly, Lloyd has gone to second. Tight between Hayek and Gretsch.
Yeah, so Gretsch wasn't sure really where to slot in to readdress. Probably lost a little bit of speed out of doing that, and that enabled Harry Hayek to get cleanly up the inside, and now Will Brown is all over the back of Tom Gretsch. Meanwhile, Randall has jumped in front of Lloyd. Lewis Leeds settled into third.
Just to show you how aggressive they can be on the curbs. Not very is the answer. Not quite like a Porsche or a V8. Here we go, under brakes. Down the back straight. I think that was Will Brown up the inside. Oh, this is on here. Mayolo and Goddard. A couple of teammates at Team BRM. Goddard sees that his teammate is there, gives him some room.
So Will Brown had a big lunge up the inside of Tom Gretsch, and he was able to get through, but that really slowed up Tom Gretsch. He's lost a lot of momentum. So got a little bit messy off the beach chicane there. But lap 1, and Randall's done exactly what he's been able to do all weekend. On cold tyres, just check out, get that nice gap. And in the previous races, it set up the whole race for him.
We're in the midst of seeing a fantastic rivalry that's been raging through karts into the Formula Ford Championship last year, where they finished first and second, and Vernon now having a bit of a heart stopper. And now they're first and second in this championship, but it's swapped around. Lloyd now leading Randall. And they do manage to get off to Europe and race each other over there. I get the feeling we're in for one of those Wing Cup and Winterbottom-like rivalries that last from when they're teenagers right through their careers.
Well, they certainly both have aspirations of heading to Europe as soon as possible. On board with Lewis Leeds, who just returned from Europe 2 weeks ago, racing in German Formula 4 at the Hockenheim circuit, on board in the Preston Hires car.
Good to see a young Aussie getting the win over there in Germany. Joey Mawson in the last race. Hey, Leeds has really caught onto the back of Jordan Lloyd here. Wouldn't this be a big upset?
I actually wondered if he had a problem then, like he slowed a little bit off the back straight. So maybe just being conservative. He seems to be holding station. Oh, a bit of an inside front, or outside front lockup rather, as you come onto the front straight.
You know, to get a championship, you do need a little bit of luck as well as great skill, but I don't want to go putting the mockers on him here, but he has a pretty clean run in terms of mechanical reliability this year. Compare that to Will Brown or Tom Gretsch, who's had rotten luck. These things happen. They are mechanical cars. They break down.
I had to give Tom Gretsch a bit of a hug yesterday. I said, mate, he goes, I thought I had it. My first race win. I'm determined to get a race win. Look at Leeds all over the back of Jordan Lloyd.
He's got speed here. And Vernon in a pretty good battle with Hayek and Will Brown, who's come off the back row to be a part of this battle. That's a great drive. He's fighting for 4th, 5th and 6th right now. But Lewis Leeds could do his teammate a big favour by getting his yellow Miguel in front of Jordan Lloyd's BRM.
Just a few points that would go Thomas Randall's way if Leeds can get by and just steal a couple. But he needs to do it cleanly, and it's not easy to pass on the streets of the Gold Coast. You need to be really well and truly up the inside at the turning point. Very much one-line corners through here.
That was the advice from Stephen Johnson, who is the stand-in DSO. We like to use that term for Carl Reindler, who's the usual man for the job, but Carlos off racing in V8 this weekend. Oh, big mid-corner oversteer for Vernon. Caught it, got the power down, and Will Brown's got a great exit out of the Castrol edge. Hairpin. You get a little bit of a toe, but it's when you pull out into the clean air that you lose all that forward momentum. There he is, Hayek, driving defensively. Knows that he's got the AGI Sports Racer in his mirrors. Very defensively. Good stuff. Now, can Brown get a good exit? He has. He might get him at turn 4. Hayek throws the block, but Brown was not to be denied. Good pass.
Good clean racing. He didn't make it easy, but you don't need to move out of the way to let a car pass. There was a little bit of blocking, but it wasn't excessive. But Tom Gretsch has got a good run here. So now he's going to tow up alongside, or slot in behind, and Harry Hayek.
That would have been bold. Around the outside at approach to the beach chicane. Couldn't quite make it stick there. Frankie Mayolo as a result, going with these guys. Good battle this one for 5th position.
Also, there's a battle for the bottom step of the podium on points for the weekend. So currently Jimmy Vernon will be third, but if Lewis Leeds can get ahead of Jordan Lloyd, it may well put him up onto the podium for the round.
Double incentive then for Lewis Leeds. Here he is after returning from Germany. He raced against Michael Schumacher's son, Mick Schumacher. In the last race, he finished 4 spots behind him, which is pretty cool. Big over there in Germany, F4. New series starting up in Mexico, USA, so it's going global.
Yes, and some interest from the Middle East as well. So next year, we know there's the British series, there's Spanish, Northern European zone, US Formula 4, and of course Italian F4 and German F4, which have certainly been the strong categories this year in Europe as far as Formula 4 is concerned. Look at this slide from Vernon. 4-wheel drift. Oh. Look at that. All you need to do is really take one hand off the wheel and sort of wave to the crowd.
Drifting style. And then
good save.
That was awesome. So much attitude from these cars. A lot of people were very critical, saying, oh, wings and slicks, is that going to teach these guys car control? Well, there's your answer. Awesome to see.
Leeds is strong in this sector here. So from the back straight onwards, he seems to really gain on Lloyd. The change in direction, perhaps just suiting that car a little bit better. But then Lloyd's able to stretch away through the turn 1, 2, 3 and turn 4, which sort of saves him from being vulnerable, you know, up the back straight there. So let's see if Leeds can stay with him through the chicane, turns 1, 2, 3. That'll certainly enable him. Oh no, we've got Gretsch down the escape road. No damage there, just perhaps gone in a little bit deep.
Oh, so frustrating. You just lose so much time trying to do a 4 or 5 point turn to get out of there. Oh, Hayek over the curbs in the background. It's this battle for second. The Preston Hire, Miguel pushing to get around the Team BRM 19-year-old driver of Jordan Lloyd, our series leader. That's how close the lap times have been. Probably faster, but there's just no way through. Just 25 thousandths faster on that last lap. Needs to get a really good exit through these curbs to have a crack at turn 11. Is he close enough? Probably not, would be the answer.
Certainly in practice, Jordan Lloyd was the only one using first gear down at that turn 4 hairpin, and it's just been, I think it's helped him this weekend, particularly in racing, just been able to slingshot, get that little bit of an advantage up the back straight. This is where Lewis is strong, so he knows he just needs to, and you're exactly right, Chad, he needs to get that exit out of the chicane, out of that back chicane, to be able to get close enough to make a pass.
He looks like a young version of Will Power with that helmet on.
So last lap around, top 3 drivers were within 3 100ths.
Oh, and Lloyd has just set the fastest lap of the race. Although Vernon swings by to take it off him, but he was the quickest out of the front 3 there, Jordan Lloyd. Wow, Vernon wants to catch these guys. He's putting the effort in, but he might just be too far back. He's 2 seconds behind Lewis Leeds. Right on board, looking over the shoulder of Jordan Lloyd. This is all about consolidating the points. He knows that he's more than likely going to finish behind our young Dream Motorsport driver. Watch the jolt of the curbs on his body. Wow. So just needs to make sure that he finishes second, gets as many points as possible. He'll still have a very comfortable lead with 2 rounds to go.
This is where Lewis has been able to catch, but it's like Jordan Lloyd's lifted a little bit. He's found a little bit of speed in this car. Oh, that's where the inside front wheel comes actually up off the ground.
The car almost skips before it grabs the ground and turns in. That little moment where your front wheels are in the air. Obviously you're not turning if they're not touching the ground. Back onto the front straight. That gap between first and second is 1.5 seconds. And Lloyd turning some good times here, but Randall's answering on this lap. This is a fast one from our leader, but Lloyd 0.4 seconds quicker on that lap. So, hey, if he keeps that up, he'll catch the leader. And look at what it's done there. It's just given him that breathing space to Lewis Leeds. So he found 4:10 to 17.59, fastest lap of this race, and that's what he needed.